This year's Super Bowl averaged 124 million viewers. That's a lot of people who wanted to see the best of the best fight it out and duke it out. I would say that most of them don't deserve to watch the sports. Maybe just a select few, but most of them don't, because watching sports is basically just porn for athletics. You might think, what do these two things have in common? They don't really have anything in common. But before that, I want to tell you a quick story. Growing up, I was never really a sportsy kid. I didn't really grow around people who like sports. So I never really understood. They're just two different teams who want a certain ball to go a certain net while defending that same ball from going to your same net. That's essentially sports for, 80-90% of them. So I never really understood that. I was just confused. I was just more interested in different things. But now I realize with time and maturity and just growing up, sports is not just watching people do that. It's also an outlet of camaraderie. It's seeing a different team with different individuals have a collective goal in mind. With camaraderie, there also comes a sense of community. You have a sport because you have a common goal together. It's also an outlet for aggression, for the desire for domination, the desire to assert your will to someone else's will. Who is better? Sure, you can argue with someone, set your debate points. I think that the point A is point B is better, the clowning argument. But at the end of the day, physicality is what will win at the end. That's why bullies are typically not stereotyped as someone who is smart. They're usually someone who is more muscle than brain. But that's aside the point. I just slowly realized that there was a lot of good in it too. That sure, if you go to a live stadium, in a huge stadium, football arena, you feel the energy of the crowd, that people want and feel identified with their home team, their country, their team, their sport against this other team, especially for Olympics, Super Bowl. If you're from Kansas City, you would feel more and identified because they're playing as me, because I was raised in that city, so I can see myself in them playing them and beat them. But the negative is when people take it way too far. In a sport, there's two different players, really, or at least watching the sports. The first is you, the observer. You could be in the arena, you could be at home watching with your friends, it's a Super Bowl party, whatever. And the people, the sports players, the athletes who are actually in the field, in the mud. They're the ones training day and night, sleeping, eating, training, and you finally see them perform on stage. So there's the active participation in the sports, the athletes, and also the passive participations, the observers, you, the watcher. And I'm saying that most people who are watching don't deserve to watch it because it's just porn. What are the similarities between the two? You are watching someone do the thing you want to do because you can't do it to that level. Sure, if you're a hobbyist of sports and you like watching sports and you're an active person yourself and you push yourself in the gym or any kind of physical endeavor, I think that's fine to watch sports. But my argument is if you don't, if you're a couch potato, you barely get any exercise at all or even walk outside, the danger lies in seeing and believing that, hey, I'm not someone who's physical. I'm not someone who's able to do the things that I want to do on a physical level. Sure, it will never be like a professional level like these sports athletes who are paid millions of dollars to perform. So of course they have a huge incentive to do it. But the danger lies in, hey, I'm not being a physical person. I'm not exerting myself on the physical level, on the body level. So what I will do is, instead of doing that myself, I will just watch people to do it for me. And there's almost like a level of delusion that happens where, hey, sure, I might not be doing it, but at least people are doing it. And you might be deluding yourself into believing that you're also pushing yourself. But Your mind may be thinking that, but the body knows that you're not exerting yourself. You're on the couch, you're a lazy butt, your BMI is over 30 or anything recommended by your doctor. What's happening? It's just not healthy. So you have to be the one to decide, like, hey, sure, I personally don't like sports. I don't even know who won the Super Bowl. I think it was Kansas City. I'm not sure. I think for most people, the only reason to watch them is not just for activity and for fun. I think you have to earn that right. You have to earn the right to be physical, to see how people do it in the future, how people do what the pinnacle of the best do against each other. So at the end of the day, there's a decision that needs to be made. Are you going to be a passive observer in the game of physicality? Would you be the one, just someone watching someone else do the things that you want to do? Would you be the one, that kind of person who would just wear another man's jersey, another man's number on your back as your own shirt? Which is strange to me. If you really want to be and succeed, why don't people just put effort into their own? I'm not saying you have to be a professional, world-class athlete, or striker, or hooper, or whatever your sport is. There has to be some kind of genuine effort that's put in there. Will you be someone who just watches back and does things because they can't do it themselves, so they watch someone else to do it for them? And be someone who's more passive, someone who just watches, someone who just observes other people? Or will there be more of an active role that's taken of the game of life? It doesn't have to be sports. And this is not just sports, it's also just watching different things in general, because TV can offer you so many different things that you want. If you want to be the best chef ever, there's something for that. If you want to be a detective or something, there's obviously more crime-related shows for that too. But the choice really depends on you. Will you be the one to take an active role and do the things that you want to do? Or will you just sit back and watch someone else do it? And that's the video. Please subscribe and let me know your thoughts.